All right, welcome to the Modern Mompreneur Podcast. I am your host, Dave Smith, and we are back with another exciting episode, catering to all the mompreneurs and just talking about the challenges we face and our inspirations in life as well. And today I have a beautiful inspiration in the form of Miss Val Carter. So I'm gonna give you her official bio, then I'm gonna tell you how I know her on the real. So Valerie Carter, who is she? She is a daughter, a mom, a sister, a wife, and a very successful business owner. In fact, she's a powerhouse CEO. She has an extensive background, 30 plus years in healthcare administration, and she runs VK Consulting Group, LLC. She is a known giver, which I can back that up, and dedicated to empowering the lives of those around her. And she channels her disability advocacy nonprofit, the L&V Enterprise Resources Inc. She is a devoted believer and follows her faith by hosting the Love and Victory Show with Val podcast, radio show, all the things. In each episode, we get real on the VK show because we have candid conversations, special guests like yours truly, and we talk about all things about life, brokenness, unresolved issues. She works in conjunction with her husband as well, Brother Carter. Shout out to Brother Carter. But above all things else, she's family oriented, a faithful friend, and a wise woman. So that's her bio. But let me tell you how we met. Me and Ms. Val met years ago when I started off in my pharmaceutical career. She was a practice administrator. I walked in and we hit it off immediately. She basically took me under her wing and showed me the ropes and made sure I knew how to represent myself in offices. And really, we reconnected 15 years later.
No, 20.
20 years
Almost 20
later,
years later. Yeah.
and we have been attached at the hip. So I know that's the longest bio y'all done heard, but everybody welcome Miss Val Carter to the Mod Mom Pod.
Hello. Day. Wow. I don't know. How do you come in? What do you say after you said all that you say and the way that you say it? Thank you so much for having me on the
Sure.
Mob Pot. Yes.
There you go. There you go. It's a mouthful. The
Oh,
Mod
but
Mom.
I love it. I love it because you know what? You can never take the hat off of being a mom. No matter what you're doing, you're still a mom.
Absolutely. It goes in tandem. It goes hand in hand with your journey as an entrepreneur, which is why talking about the things that we have to face as a mompreneur is very unique.
It's
Our
so
journey
unique.
is very unique as entrepreneurs. So let's dive right into it. My first question to you, I know I read your bio, but who would you say you are and who you serve?
First, let me say I serve. I am, of course, Valerie Carter. Those that know me, my friends know me as Val. Valerie is a little more formal. And so I'm Val because I want to get to know a person the way that they feel comfortable being who they are. I am a person, first of all, a woman of God. I am a mother, as you said, but most of all, I am a wife. My husband is my best friend. You know, a lot of times people don't like to be identified by their spouse because sometimes one dominates one more than the other. We actually complement. He's my best friend, and he is the one that really pushed me and encouraged me in this journey as an entrepreneur. So that's who I
Yeah.
am.
Love Brother Carter. Let me tell you.
Yes.
Yes. So your journey into motherhood was unique as well as
Oh
entrepreneurship.
God.
So
Oh
let's
God.
talk about how
Oh
did
my.
you get here?
Okay. Well, let's just talk about, let's back all the way up. I was a teen mom. And so I had my life all mapped out. I was one of those people that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And whoa, I took a turn that was different than the journey that my parents had for me, and I actually found myself in a situation with my current husband. Thank God it worked out. But I got pregnant, right? Actually, I ended up having our first child my senior year in high school. So I was a teen mom, unprepared, just as he was unprepared to be a father. But we figured it out. The one thing that we had, and even when we were younger, we always talked about the life that we desired to have together. And so even when we weren't getting it right, I believe that was God had pouring something into us early on, and that was our focus point. We stayed focused on the life that we wanted for each other.
Mm, love it. So you had a partner this whole time
Yes.
helping you and pushing you, and even now you.
No, let me keep it
Oh,
real.
okay. Bring it
Mm-mm.
on back.
I'm
Okay.
gonna bring it now. You know, you put me on this. They don't always encourage you. But here's the
Mm,
thing about Brother Carter. He was always a good man, and that's a good person. And so even in his journey as a young, because we were young, even in his journey, it was always wanting something good for me. He did more harm to himself and than he did to me directly in
mm,
his mind. It never was to do something wrong. But we were young. And so no, he wasn't pushing and encouraging. He was pushing and
mm.
encouraging for me to be up under him. You know,
Oh, yes.
boyfriend, girlfriend. You know how
I
that goes.
I know, I know. But it's great that you guys were able to grow up together, raise kids together,
Yes.
and now you can look back and y'all have memories, y'all have a legacy that only you two know, you know?
Well, I think that's part of our legacy is to always be honest about it. And I think if you really talk to people, and that's really who I am. It's about being transparent, being honest.
Mhm.
Because if you can't be honest even about the bad things, you sure can't be honest. You're not really being honest only about the good. So
Mhm.
for me, telling my story and my journey and being honest about my husband and our journey is helping someone else.
Yeah.
Just because it looked bad doesn't mean, or it was bad, doesn't mean that you have to stay in that place. It's because we went through the things that we went through helped us get to where we are today. We're celebrating life now.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that because you stopped me. You was like, wait a minute. You know,
Mhm.
you keep it real all the time. Keep it
On
100 all the
everything.
time, which
I,
is what I love about you. But you're like, someone needs to know, some mompreneur needs to know that you're here now, but that's not how it's always been. And so if you're in that now, be encouraged. It can possibly get to where you guys are. And more importantly, it's sometimes a natural process of growth,
it
really.
is. And you know,
Yeah.
one of the things that especially as an entrepreneur, you can't expect anyone that want to hook their brand up next to you when you're expecting them to be transparent with you and
Hmm.
you're being fake. They can read it a mile away. Now, I'm not encouraging anyone to go just start spilling the beans, but I am encouraging people just be honest and be natural.
Yeah. 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 You can't really show your best self if you over here faking it because
Yeah, it's just
that's just
and
that.
the older I get, I can't remember yesterday. So let's just go ahead and keep it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. If you over here faking, you gonna
I
have to keep
can't.
all that, and we ain't got time for that.
I don't have time. It's too much energy.
Too much energy. Yes. So
Yes.
let's talk about when you started your business, VK Consulting Group. Like, what was that like? Because you already had kids, you had a husband, and now you're transitioning from corporate to business ownership.
Let me tell you about that. I was sitting in where you met me at, and that's back 2003. Yes,
Mhm.
when I decided to walk away. That's a six-figure job. Who does that? I walked away from a six-figure job
Mm.
with five kids
Woo.
and a husband.
Wow. Look at you.
And I'm sorry, that income was important, but I couldn't do it anymore. And my husband said to me, he said, do it for yourself. You've been the cleanup woman for everybody else. Why can't you do it for yourself?
Mm.
And before I could say, no, I can't, he said, you got to do this. You got to do this yes, literally. And that started this whole journey for me.
Wow. Say that is what you need to hear from your partner because you're nervous. Like, let's
Oh,
be real. You're like,
petrified.
what yeah, petrified, terrified. If you don't
Yes.
feel like that, well, you ain't really doing it,
You're
right?
not doing it. No,
And for
no.
your husband to say that,
Before I can
oh
get the words out of my mouth, literally, Dave,
wow.
before I can say I can't, in my mind, I'm thinking it. And there was nobody but God that said, speak now. He said, you have to.
Mm,
And that's when I know that's when you know you have the right people around you, you have the right circle, you have the right support. That man there, that's when you talk about Brother Carter, he got my back.
he
Yeah,
does.
he
He
got my
does.
back.
He does. It's
Yes.
so evident. It's so evident, and I love to see it I recently had an experience with my husband similarly, where I was so nervous about telling him something I wanted to do with my business because I was scared. It scared me.
Yes.
It
Yes.
terrified me. And
Yes.
I'm like, I said it, and he was so cool. He was like, "Yeah, that'll work." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "You so cool with it." I'm terrified, but his confidence in me helped me to have
That's
confidence.
it. That's it. That's when
Yeah.
you know that you know that you know. It's like he had more confidence than I did in myself at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I never even phantom or even thought about I'm doing it. That didn't even cross my mind. I
Yeah.
just was doing it. And so when he said, "You've been doing it for everybody else, you have to do it for yourself," it
Yeah.
just made so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that day well, not that day, but you made the decision and then you transitioned. So starting your business or that, tell me if that you shook your head
You,
like that ain't how it happened.
girl, so now mind you, we're at home having this conversation. So that was something. So I had to act then because if you wait too long, guess what's going to sit in? Fear,
Mm-hmm.
doubt, all of that. So he said, "So you're going back, right? You're gonna turn your resignation in, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And so literally, that Monday, following Monday, I went in. I gave them a 30-day notice. I had no clients, no idea how I was going to do it, no plan. I had nothing. And I walked away. And I couldn't recruit any of their physicians because it was a
Oh,
conflict of interest, right? So I didn't have any idea how I was going to set this thing up, but God. And so I walked away. And of course, the one thing that I did want to make sure that I had is I had a professional office. So I tried to go and reach out to other consultants. I tried going to other business. Nobody wanted to help. I'm like, oh my God, did I make a mistake here? And I
mm,
didn't want him to know I'm knocking and running into brick walls. Nobody is trying to help. And so for me at that point, it became you're going to have to trust. You have to trust God. You have to trust yourself.
mm,
And so, literally, because I got so many no's from people, I said, okay, we're going to do it. Literally, I found my place. I stopped focusing on how I was going to build it. And I went back to the basics of how I did everyone else's business, from the McGregor to the pediatric associations to all of the different companies that I managed and worked through. I started pulling those ideas together.
mm,
And I said, what is it that a physician needs when they're deciding they're wanting to open up a practice? What are some of the things when you had to take over clinics that were falling apart? What are some of the things you did? And so I started putting all of that together. But this was the kicker: how do you charge? And that's where I struggled with because I kept seeing I didn't want to look poor. I didn't want to look like I was begging. At the same time, girl, this 6-figure job is going away.
yeah.
So then I started depending on and trusting that we got the day open, we opened up the business. Um, and 10 days after I opened up, I went too fast. 10 days after I opened up the business, God sent me the first client.
Mm,
Someone, and I've never changed my phone number to this day. Someone reached out to me and said, I heard you left McGregor. I'm trying to start a business and I was given your name. Can you help me out?
wow.
10 days after I
Wow.
left and set my business up. Well, 10 days after I opened my office. So, yeah,
Wow.
we just went.
He sent someone, you took this, you made the decision, you took action,
Mm-hmm.
and God opened that door. He sent people
Yes.
to you.
Yes.
You didn't know someone was giving your name. You didn't know
No.
where that person was coming from. You were just acting off of obedience, off of
Yes.
faith, off
Mm.
of an idea, imagination, all of that.
And brokenness. I couldn't
Yeah.
do it anymore. I couldn't play the game
Yeah.
anymore. I
I
was
got
literally, I was so broken because I had given so much of myself to what I did because I love what I do. And so I was giving that, but it was emptying me out. I was empty. So
Yeah, yeah. Wow, wow. Okay, love that. And so, one thing you talked about that made a lot of sense to me is you said no one wanted to help you
no one.
But here you are, such a giving helper, mentor to people, and you give it freely, which is how I know you'll continue to be blessed. But like, you are, that is like, you took that and said, that's not what I want to do when I make it. And you
Mm-hmm.
lived up to that. So kudos to you.
Well, thank you. One of the reasons why I give so selfishly, and I'm glad you reckon you pulled that part out, is because we're all connected. And if I'm unwilling to help someone that is trying to go on this journey too, then all I'm doing is stopping what God has for me.
Mhm.
So if I want to keep, it's enough out there for everybody. If I want to keep it all to myself, guess what? I'm limiting myself and all that God has for me. So it's easier for me to just, and not expecting anything back, just to give. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to just give to the concrete.
Mhm.
Now, if it's not reciprocated, if it's not fertile grounds, I'm not giving.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to listen to your gut.
Yeah. And you even have overcome the pricing thing by
Yeah.
knowing your value. And that's another thing you've taught me, because you don't play around with that. You like, we
No.
got to get these checks.
Well,
Okay.
you want to go there?
Let's
Well,
go there.
here's what happened when I didn't know my value, or I forgot about my value. I actually 2 years in, I had to file bankruptcy.
Mm,
And because again, I had been a good steward over everybody else's stuff, but I wasn't that over myself because I was giving everyone passes. I understood that, oh, the doctor is, they're having financial, they'll get it to me. And I didn't want to be this one over here begging. I didn't
yeah.
want to look like I was begging. Well, guess what? I wasn't valuing what I was bringing to the table. I was showing them that I didn't value my worth. It didn't matter. It was a hobby for me.
Yeah.
So, and God needed to take, and I'm glad He took me through that early on,
Hmm.
because we have a real understanding about roles and responsibility. I bring a lot to the table.
Yeah.
Your business, when I sign a contract with you, it becomes my business. So I'm
Mhm.
going to fight for you and your business as if it's mine. But first things first, you're going to pay me for my services. And I have no problem with saying, are you, are we all clear about what this agreement is all about? And I think when you get to that place, you're saying to that person, that client, that I see your need. You have a need, and I'm going to get you to the end of the journey. But before we get there, I need you to understand what my need is. I'm taking you on because I think it's a good fit, and I'm going to work with you as long as it's a good fit.
Yeah.
And if it's not a good fit, I have the gift of goodbye.
The gift of goodbye. That's a
Mm-hmm.
whole sermon right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And but I didn't have it, and I hope that doesn't sound cocky or tacky or uncaring. And I don't want anybody to hear that and take that in a negative way. I need you to understand there are some business relationships you have to be willing to walk away from, because
Hmm.
you can stay in something too long, and it will either ruin your reputation or it will harm your business. And
Mm,
if a person's integrity is not good, you have to be willing to say, you know what? I don't want to attach myself to that. And that goes in, integrity has a lot to do. Are they paying their bill? Like they agreed to pay it.
yeah. Yeah. I don't think that came across that way. I think that
Okay.
one thing that needs to be spoken over and over and over again with female entrepreneurs, with mompreneurs, with women in general, is that we have to know our value, and we have to have a voice to communicate it, because that is what everyone else is doing. And if you don't
Right.
do it, someone else is going to step in, charge more, maybe not even give as much as you. And here you are struggling, or, having to, jump through hoops, or, have your family suffer because you didn't speak up. And if you have value to give, if you got it now, because you
Yeah.
can't be saying, I'm going to do this and not, you bring it to the table, you speak you have a voice to say what you're worth. And that's just the nature of business. So I've I'm grown, I'm learning that from you and other successful entrepreneurs. um
Yes. I think
so
one of the things that was, if I think back 20 years back. Wow. Every time I say that, I just get
You making me
chills.
sound old, Val.
No, no, I know, right? I
I'm
get chills
25.
because I said, God, I'm still standing, as a female entrepreneur that could have closed the door, closed it all up, wrapped it all up 2 years in and just stayed on a job.
Mm,
Yes, I had to go back to work, but I never put my business on the shelf. I just
nice.
kept going. And so when I'm thinking 20 years in, I'm proud. I can finally say I'm proud of what God has done for me. And I'm proud of the connections, the people's lives that I can personally say that I've touched. I'm proud of the practices when I go back and see and connect with some of my doctors and all of my doctors. I can probably say it's probably less than 0.5% of a client that I don't stay in contact with. All of my clients I'm still in contact with. They
Mm,
still reach out. We still do new businesses to keep them going.
nice.
But I'm proud of where they are.
Yeah,
Those that listen are still in business and they're doing well.
that is good. That is a great legacy to have, and I
Yeah.
hope that's how you know you're doing good business when you still have a relationship, the service is complete, and they will refer you.
Oh my
You've
God.
changed their life, their business, and that is the type of business I want to make those connections. I strive to make those connections with my clients so that we continue to have a relationship, even if we you never repurchase. I still
Right.
care about you. I want to see you win. I want to make sure you're still productive and organized. Like I care, so I'm
Well,
right
I
there.
think I think it's about, again, they become a part of your family.
Hmm.
Your business is a part of, now it's like my business. So why would I disconnect from you if it was a true connection from the beginning?
That's true. We can't
Yeah.
break away that easy
You
unless,
can't break
gift of goodbye, like
unless the gift of
that.
goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I want to, before you go, I know this is your show, but before we go on, how do
Go
you
ahead.
I think we as women, especially entrepreneurs, we always want to make excuses, or we always feel like I apologize for being tough, or making my no be no, but men never do that. So for me, I like to say to women, no, you need to speak up for yourself. Don't allow people to just handle you.
Mm,
You understand? People will respect what you require and how that you require them. Hmm.
that I just marked that one. People will respect what you require.
There you
Yes,
go.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we have to really get out of this thing of, well, if I'm too aggressive, I'm too assertive, then I come off like this. Well, that was something that was placed on you, or no, it wasn't placed on you. It was placed on someone else. So why are you carrying it around?
yeah, that's. I think this sounds harsh, but I like this saying when someone says the way someone else feels about you is none of your business.
Yes, there you go. It's not, that's
Like,
what
that's
you
on
say.
you. That's
That's
on
on you.
you.
That
Not
has
how I
nothing.
feel.
I
Yeah.
know how I feel, and I know
Yeah.
exactly what I said to you, and I meant what I said to you.
Yeah.
And how you take it, that's on you. We can talk
That's on
about
you.
it.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Let's
Yeah.
talk
So
about it.
let's transition to the mom part. So
Oh,
you have your family or
God.
wife,
Mhm,
you have your family, you're building this business. Share with us who are
mhm.
in the thick of it. What has been some of your unexpected challenges or aha moments that you've had while building a business and raising your family?
Wow. It's so funny you say that, and you didn't prepare me for this, but
I knew
as
you weren't
soon as
going
you
to.
said, as soon as you said that, it hit me.
Mhm.
My oldest son went off to, oh wow, he went off to the military.
Mhm.
There was I think it was the Iraq War during that time, shortly there, during that era. And then, of course, my baby girl, who was always, she called me out on my stuff. She said, "You're always so busy. You're always so busy. You're too busy for me, and you're too busy for us." And I had to check that because I was so busy trying to grind and grow this business and not let anybody see that I was falling apart at it. And within myself, I felt like I was failing because I was so busy trying to grow something and do it my way by any you understand? So
Yeah.
that my daughter helped me um, by calling me out on that. And then the other thing was my son. I was so mentally out of it
Mm.
that I was on autopilot, and literally I took a toll. My body. I think, yeah, that,
Yeah.
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 And so when I
Burnout.
see women, Berta, so when I see women, young entrepreneurs now, and I see them just like this, just going, my question is always, are you enjoying what you're doing?
Mm.
Are you enjoying what you're doing? If you're not enjoying it, then why are you doing it? Something is unbalanced. Are you enjoying what you're doing?
I love that.
Slow
So,
down
yeah.
and ask yourself, are you enjoying? Because the kids are still there. Do you want to be present in their lives?
Mm.
Do you want to be present with your spouse? Or do you just want to be an entrepreneur? So, are you enjoying what you're doing? Figure that out. What's
Wow.
important to you?
Wow. Yes, I love that. I often talk to a lot of mompreneurs and these words come up. Life first business
Mm-hmm.
and harmonizing your life. Like if you're going to be for us, again, we have to do it differently. You're going to be a mom, and many times that's the most important role to most of us. We care
Mm-hmm.
deeply about our children, but we also have this drive to grow a business. So, you want to make sure your business fits in your life, not the other way around.
That's it in a nutshell. And I think that sounds, especially for driven women,
Mhm.
and there are, okay, I'm going there. I was trying to hold back on that.
Come on, Miss.
You know, entrepreneurs, when you have that in you, especially a woman, you're wired a little different. When you're a leader, you're wired a little different most than other people. I'm not going to say most other people. You're wired. I'm not going to quit until I get what I'm going after of it. However, that can also be a double-edged sword
Mhm.
because you're going to keep pushing, pushing, pushing. You also sometimes have to kind of dial it back. And sometimes you need to have the right person in your life to say, hey, you need to check you. You need
Yeah.
to check those that drive. And it's nothing wrong with being driven, but you got to find the balance.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a guest on who said her husband too said to her, "Right now, you have an unhealthy relationship with your business." And she was like, "Ooh," because she was successful. She's driven,
Yeah.
doing good work. She even has a kid. They have a kid, and
Hmm.
that's what he said to her. And so she reevaluated that, and was like, "I got to figure something else out." And that I'm sure that will happen
Oh,
at
it's going to keep
any point
happening.
in your life, because, like you said, we are wired differently. We
Hmm.
are driven. We
It's not
are.
going to stop. It's not going to stop. So you have to, and when you're that way, my brain is always, and I don't know about you, but my brain is always thinking of something else. It just never just kind of
It's never
shuts
stop.
down. It's
Mm-mm.
always something. And my husband always says to me, do you think you have enough on the table? And you have a, no. Oh God. Oh yeah. He said, how much more are you going to do? Aren't you tired? I'm tired looking at you. And for being, and I'm sure my staff feel the same way because I said, y'all need to blame it on God because he pour in and I push out. So
Blame it on God, ain't me. It's the
it ain't
Lord.
me. Blame it on God. And so I have to sometimes have people that really care about me
Mhm.
check me. And
Yeah.
it's nothing wrong with I don't want weak people around me. I
Yeah.
want people in my space that really care about me, that's going to say, you know what? You might need to slow it down, or maybe this is not the season for you to be able to do that. You should be doing
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that I have to take their advice, but I need to hear them and then process that
Yeah.
and then figure out, well, is there any truth in that? Don't be
Yeah.
so caught up in my ego that I can do everything.
Exactly. I love that. And so you should try to have those people around you. And if you're unsure, pray about it. Go to your guide and say, "Listen, I
Hmm.
need to know that I have these people around me, because that's a part of the tribe you're gonna need. Other mompreneurs, mentors, your spouse, your kids, like your daughter did."
Like I said, honey, I start with him. I
Mm,
start with God
yeah.
because there is no better advocate for me than
Mm,
him. And
yeah.
then it's my husband. And then it's the circle. And my circle is small, but it's tight.
Yeah.
And the people that God have around me are not weak people. They're going to call me on it. I don't
Yeah.
want anything around me weak. I don't want yes people around me.
Yeah.
Not even a friend, a foe.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. That's real. That's real.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
I'm
It's like
sorry.
warm my heart hearing all this, your journey and how transparent you are. I didn't mention this at the beginning, but before I transition to the next phase of the podcast, did you know that you pushed me to start this when I did?
No, I had no
Yes.
idea.
So I that just came to me right now. I just was
Oh,
like it
wow.
full circle moment because I remember talking to you in one of our mentor calls about my plans for the year, right? And
Oh,
one of my plans was to start a podcast. And I was like, I'm gonna do that in the summer, I'm gonna do that in the fall. It was like February. You were like, why don't you do it now? And I was like, huh? What? And I was
look at
like, well,
God.
how do I you was like, and then you said, I will help you. And I was like, okay.
Yes. Look,
And
and
you
look at you.
did. And here
You,
we are.
you know what? I remember that. But here's the thing: you were on my show on the,
Yeah.
I think, a podcast, and then you came on the radio. But you're such a natural. Your communication skills. You're so genuine. It's so easy. Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. I just had it in my mind to wait. But you talked about, does this bring you joy? This
Mm-hmm.
right here is one thing that brings me so much joy. And I haven't figured out how to monetize it yet, but that's coming. If you listen
It's on the
up,
way.
let me know. But this brings me so much joy because I'm a connector. I like to talk to people. I like to hear stories. I like to have other people hear your story. So this
Mm-hmm.
was something that was supposed to happen when it did. And I'm grateful that you pushed me and
Well,
didn't
I'm
let me
grateful
sit on
that God spoke the words through me
it. Yeah.
because just sitting down with you, I'm not here trying to, well, I am. I'm here. I'm promoting you because I wouldn't be on your platform if I didn't believe in you. But you are truly a gifted person. You're so genuine. You're so
Thank
smart.
you.
You're so wise. And when there is an opportunity for you, for someone to hear you, they're going to be blessed. They're going to leave your presence being better than they were before they walked into your presence. I
Oh,
believe that.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel
I
the
believe
same
that.
way about you. I do.
Thank
I
you.
do.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, I just had to say that.
Oh,
But
wow.
now
Okay.
we
Now
are
it's going to get
going.
real.
Yes. I mean, it's already been real. We're gonna get
Oh,
realer.
okay.
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 So this is the lightning round. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions. The first thing that comes to the top of your mind, just say it. And you don't even
Okay.
have to explain it. You can just say it from the
Say it.
heart.
Okay.
And that's the truth.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's hear 3 words to describe you today.
Bold, driven, and loving.
Love it. What would you tell your 18-year-old self today?
Honey, just breathe. Take your time. You don't need to get it all right today. You got 18 years in front of you. Just take it day by day. Slow
Mm,
down. You have nothing to prove. Their opinion of you does not matter.
mm, love that. All right. What does it mean to you to be a modern mompreneur?
Oh, wow. Um, be okay. Show who you be exactly who you are. Don't feel like you need to do this mom thing like your mom did or like someone else is doing it. Do it, but do it in a way that you are showing your best self, whoever that is. And while you're being that mom, you're figuring it out. There's no perfect book to being a mom. Just connect to your child, communicate with your child, love on your child, and just let your child see that you're human. You're going to make mistakes,
Mm,
but you're going to own it. You're going to apologize. Just Be you.
Be you as a mompreneur. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you love about being a mom?
It's different now.
Yeah.
I love my kids are all grown. My youngest is 30 and my oldest is 41. I love now. I'm actually their friends. I
Mm,
enjoy being. I did my mom. I'm their mother. You're gonna always be a mother, and I'm always mothering. But now I actually enjoy their company.
mm.
I
Yeah,
enjoy.
y'all
I, I enjoy their company. I enjoy laughing and grinning, hanging out with my children. I love it.
as I'm snapping at Jackson because he's
I,
bouncing the ball.
well, that's okay.
Like,
Hi, see, and when they were younger,
yeah.
that's what they do. They want mom. He wants mom. Can I see your
Well,
son?
Jackson, can you come here for a second?
There you go. Keep it real.
Miss Val wants to say hi. He went to go get his basketball. Say hello.
Hi, Jackson. How you doing? Thank you so much for jumping in
Yeah,
here.
thank you for jumping in here.
Okay. Bye, Jackson.
My little man.
And that's a part of it right there.
Yeah.
You know,
We've had many appearances from kids on this show.
yes.
Babies walking in, all the things.
Well, that one of the things is while you're being a boss, you're still a mom. And
Mm,
so it's easy to just say, hey, go away. But he was doing that because he needed a little of your attention just for a second.
well, thank you. He's gonna appreciate that moment you just gave him because I was like,
Oh,
wait a second.
no.
Hey now,
Now I'm enjoying the grandchildren.
that's
So that's I'll be like, don't brush my grandchild off.
see how y'all do.
Yeah, we flipped the script on you.
Yeah, you do. It's a whole nother game now.
It's
I love
another
it.
game.
Okay, so what are you reading, watching, or listening to right now?
Oh wow. I think one of the things that I enjoy reading the most, I don't know if you heard of Valerie Burton. She
No.
is a great author. She actually is an entrepreneur herself. And she spells her name Valerie with an O. And she's amazing.
Okay.
I'll shoot you over. I love her. I love her. And I love listening to podcasts. I love listening to talk shows. It depends.
Okay.
Well, talk shows online.
Yeah.
And so right now, one of my favorite authors would probably be Valerie Burton because she's really right now she's speaking to my soul in
Okay.
this journey where I'm at right now.
Love it. Valley Burton. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Noted. Noted.
Noted. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then last question. What is bringing you joy,
You
in your
you
downtime?
you broke up a little bit.
Oh, what is bringing you joy in your downtime?
Oh God, my me time, my downtime. What I real hanging out with my husband. Don't get me wrong. I love to dance, and I love just him and I going out. I love getting dressed, and it's just like it's all about us. But
Yeah.
when that's not happening, what I really enjoy doing is just me going in my backyard, fixing me a cocktail. Or if I'm not doing that, hey, let me go get me a little shopping in. Because
Mm,
that's also something I really take my downtime serious.
okay.
I'm always going. And so when I need to step away, I really take time to pamper myself.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing all of that in the lightning round. It was great hearing
Yes.
your perspective because you have started, as a young teen mom, had
Yeah.
your children, been with your husband, then started a business and all the ups and downs that came with that. And now you're in a different phase. And now
Yes.
we can see what that looks like for us, should we continue this journey, and which I hope we will down this mompreneur journey. So I so enjoyed your
I
story
hope
and
I can leave you guys with something. I
yes.
think that one of the things I want to say when you take this journey, don't go into it expecting it to yield you millions of dollars out the gate or thousands of dollars. Go into it from the perspective, I have to do it. This is something that is just stuck inside of me. If I don't fulfill this, then I'm leaving something on the table. And then if it's something you really want to do, then it's going to yield it. Whatever you put in it, it's what it's going to yield. So if you put your heart and soul in it and it succeeds, then that's what it's supposed to do. If you
Yeah.
put your heart and soul in it, and you may have some bumps in the road while you're doing it, that's what it's supposed to do. But
Yeah.
don't go in it like it's a game. And
Mm,
take time to breathe and enjoy the ride. Enjoy it. You're not just in it for the sake of making money. What are you going to do with it when you make all the money? Are you enjoying it?
mm.
Are you just stocking up and working yourself to the bones and never being able to enjoy? Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yes, I love
Enjoy the journey.
enjoy the journey. So, mompreneurs, we have quite a journey ahead of us, but you are doing what what you have within you. You are living your purpose. You are living your dreams. And so,
Yes.
thank you for saying that, Miss Val. So, can you let everyone know how they can connect with you, where they can find you?
Oh God, I wish I had Abby here to put all that on there. But anyway, you can
Well,
catch me.
we will put in the show notes, but I just
Yeah,
want you to, give
you
us a
can
little
find
flavor.
me on VK Consultant Group. That's my website for my business. You can also catch me on LV with Val Radio and all things LV with Val. That's our podcast radio. Oh God, everything. And more importantly, what's really I'm passionate about is our nonprofit where we service people with disabilities. So that's L&V Enterprise Resources Inc. And the most recent, oh my God, that I always have Day, who is my co-host on, and it's VK Career Conversation.
Yeah.
Oh my God, where we are truly giving back to entrepreneurs out there, people that are trying to figure out what's their next career move. I tell you, twice a month we're on the air and we're just pouring in. It's all free. So just hey,
Yes.
catch us. It's VK Career Conversation.
Yes, and we will put all of these in the show notes. VK Consultant does have an app, y'all. So you can get the app and find out when she's on the radio,
It's
when there's
actually it's LV with Val's app.
LV with
V with
Val app.
Val's app. Yes.
LV with Val. Look in the app store for LV with Val,
Mm-hmm.
and you will see the app and you download it, and it'll keep you just informed on everything that she's doing in the media with her company. And we'll put her website online on the show
Okay.
notes, as well as her Instagram and Facebook and all of that
Yes, yes.
as
And
well.
you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I was getting ready to bypass that because that was a huge undertaking for me. That was something that the Holy Spirit dropped in me. Do an app. And when I first mentioned it, they were like, why do you need an app? I absolutely love it because I wanted to make it easy to connect with everyone. And so that everyone, when you start to have a conversation, life changes. Your life will change. You have to open up and start a conversation with someone. And so that LV with Val app you'll have all kinds of conversation. You'll be able to connect and you can catch Day on there.
Yes, you can catch me on there.
Yes.
He's helping me become better at what I'm doing over here.
No, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Thank you, thank you. And so, mompreneurs, female entrepreneurs, anyone that's, you know, considering this lifestyle, and you enjoyed this episode with one of my favorite people, I want you to share this episode with your girlfriends, with your mom, sister, fellow mompreneurs, your tribe, and subscribe to the podcast. Follow Miss Val, LV with Val Radio, as well as all of her other sites that we'll put in the show notes. And mompreneurs, I want you to always, always, always give yourself permission to live out your full dreams, because you never know what's behind that potential that you're keeping locked up.
Oh, wow. I have to clap on that. That's right. You never know. I'm telling you,
You never
don't be
know.
scared. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Thank y'all
Thank
for
you.
listening. Thank you, Miss Val. I love you and I appreciate you. And thank y'all for listening. Until next
Thank
time,
you.
y'all be blessed.
All righty.